I'm going to start this review in a slightly different way, because this car didn't just impress me, it didn't just make me rethink what a performance family car can be, it really upset my daughter. And honestly, I can completely understand why. This is the new Tesla Model Y Performance, and Tesla loaned it to me from their Edinburgh store for a couple of days to help me decide whether to buy one. Not a press launch, not for a review, just a chance to experience it in my usual day-to-day. Nursery runs, pop into the shops, but I couldn't help myself and went on a long drive from Edinburgh up to Glenshee until the weather turned and common sense kicked in. And this matters because if you've watched my channel before, you'll know I'm not new to a Model Y Performance. I owned the 2022 model for 3 years and put over 60,000 miles on it. I drove all over Scotland, across Europe in it. I live with its strengths and its compromises. So this isn't a first impression from someone starstruck by the acceleration. This is a comparison from someone who knows exactly what the old one got right and what it got wrong, and why this new one feels like a very big evolution. So let's get into it. First things first, the previous Model Y was always fast, but visually it didn't shout about it. If you debadged it and squinted a bit, you would have just thought it was long range with big wheels. This one doesn't have that problem. You immediately notice a bespoke front bumper with a more aggressive splitter, gloss black accents that visually lower the car, a functional rear diffuser, a carbon fiber spoiler that actually looks intentional, and performance badging that finally feels earned. Then there are the wheels. These new 21-inch Arachnid 2.0 wheels are forged rather than cast, which means they're lighter and stronger. But what's clever is they're integrated with aero covers. Tesla hasn't just gone big wheels equal performance, they've obsessed over airflow, drag and efficiency, and it really works. Tesla claims 10% less drag, 64% reduced lift, and 27% improvement in front to rear lift balance. That sounds like engineering fluff until you drive it quickly on a wet motorway and realize your car feels way more planted, in a way that the old one never quite did. And now it looks like a performance car, but more importantly, it behaves like one. On the drive home, before any filming, before any review brain kind of kicked in, the first thing I noticed wasn't the speed, it was how calm it was. My old 2022 Performance was always slightly on edge, whether it was wind pushing you to the side, the road noise, tire roar, suspension thump, especially on Scottish roads, which are, let's be generous, varied. This car feels very settled. You still sit low for an SUV, you still feel connected to the road, but you no longer feel permanently braced for impact. And that's a theme that keeps coming up. This is still a performance model, but it feels like Tesla stopped assuming everybody drives on a smooth freeway. I didn't get a lot of time driving at night, but the headlights are excellent. They do seem like a step up from the previous generation. The acoustic glass makes bigger difference than you would think. The wind noise is reduced, tire noise is more muted. Even the way the suspension deals with uneven surfaces feels way more controlled. The lighting too. The way that the headlights sweep across country roads, it feels more dialed in now. My old car felt futuristic, but definitely a bit raw. This feels like what they wanted to do originally. It's the difference between something that's incredibly clever and something that's been properly polished. Inside, the changes are just as big, and I'd say they're more important. The performance seats are excellent, they're properly bolstered without being annoying, heated and ventilated, and crucially, they're comfortable over distance. The powered thigh extender sounds like a gimmick until you're an hour into a drive and realize your legs actually feel supported. Compared to my 2022 car, these seats are a massive step forward. Back then, the interior held up brilliantly over time, but it was never particularly indulgent. You've also got carbon fiber trim across the dash and doors, you've still got the aluminium pedals, and a new 16-inch center screen. The screen is brighter, sharper, and easier to read at a glance, especially at night. Now, nearly 80% more pixels doesn't sound exciting, but it makes everything feel smoother and more legible. Still looks like a Tesla, it still feels minimalist, it's just better executed. Now, the day before the Glenshee trip, I picked up my daughter from the nursery in this car. She loved it. The color, the LEDs in the door, probably the screen at her feet. The next morning, I dropped her off, then headed out to film the road trip. But that afternoon, I picked her up in my grey Model Y long range, and she cried. Not a bit upset, proper tears streaming down her cheeks. I want the red one. And I told her that I would ask Santa. She asked Santa herself all the way on the drive home, and she still asks about it daily now. And honestly, same. Because this car does something the old Performance didn't quite manage. It impresses emotionally and practically. So, the drive north was perfect for testing. We started in decent weather, then heavy rain, then standing water, then sleet, then snow. And through all of it, the car just got on with the job. The new Performance 40U drive unit delivers 460 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds, and 155 mph top speed. But numbers don't tell the full story. What matters is how usable that performance is. Overtakes are instant, they're effortless, and the car never feels stressed. Compared to my old Performance, the biggest difference is the adaptive suspension. The car was firm all the time, great when pushing on, less great when you weren't. This one adapts constantly. In standard, it's genuinely comfortable, and in sport, it tightens up without becoming harsh. On Scottish roads, that's transformative. As we approached Glenshee, the snow started settling properly. This is where Tesla's decision to remove track mode and replace it with stability assist actually makes sense. This isn't a track car, it's a fast family car. Stability assist reduced gives you just enough freedom to enjoy yourself without turning the car into a liability. It feels confidence-inspiring rather than intimidating, and in snow, that balance matters. The car felt planted, predictable, and reassuring, exactly what you would want when conditions turn quickly. We turned around and headed down through lots of standing water as we made our way to Braemar for some food at Five Farms. And this is where the Model Y Performance really earned its stripes. You arrive relaxed, not rattled, not tired, not mentally drained. My old Performance would have left me slightly clenched after that kind of drive. This one, you can just shrug it off. Tesla finally addressed one of my biggest long-term criticisms. This car now delivers 360 miles of WLTP range thanks to a higher density battery cell, improved aero, and better efficiency. My Model Y Performance started at 309 miles and settled around 285 over time. It was fine, but not brilliant. This is different. For a performance EV, this level of efficiency is genuinely impressive. It removes the last big mental compromise of the performance model. Fast and efficient. So, is the new Model Y Performance better than the old one? And absolutely yes, in every meaningful way. It's faster, more comfortable, quieter, more refined, more efficient, and better suited for day-to-day life. It finally feels like Tesla has aligned the performance badge with how people actually use these cars. Would I swap my long range for one? Financially, probably not right now. Emotionally, I want the red one. And judging by my daughter, I'm not the only one. If you owned an older Model Y Performance and moved away because it was too firm or too compromised, this fixes that. This is the most complete Model Y Tesla has ever built. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.